For a guy that grew up in the early 80s and the Showtime Lakers, man, I got hooked. I just loved the sport. I was never great. I got cut from damn near every team I ever tried out for. I don't know if it was height or skill or both. And I kind of started thinking about the possibility of maybe working in television. And if I worked in television, could I work in sports? Went and got trained for it and then actually got a job in it. I'm Eric Smith, Humber journalism grad. This is my Humber story. I truly don't know where I'd be without that experience at Humber, because I threw myself in as a student, but I threw myself in as a person as well. And that's why I stayed in the community. And to know that they're doing even more now, and there are even more opportunities and more resources available, I think is amazing. My first job would have been working at the Fan. So I started as an intern at the Fan, but within 6 months or less, I was hired. Well, I went from intern to part-time fairly quickly. And then less than 6 months later, I was hired full-time to be a producer. And I started off producing Gord Stellick's show, the Big Show, it was called at the time. So it was on every day, Monday to Friday, 1 to 4. And I was responsible for putting the show together, booking all of the guests. Had I graduated a couple of years earlier, a couple of years later, who knows? But I graduated at a time when the Raptors had just come into the league. Raptors come in 95, 96, I graduate in 97. I'm starting at a sports radio station at a time when there's a brand new franchise in the city. At the time, there's not a lot of people that really cared about basketball, and there were plenty of people in the industry that were saying, this is a flash in the pan, it's not gonna last, this team's not gonna succeed, they'll be gone within 10 years or less, this is a hockey town. So it's almost like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you go do that. You go cover basketball. And those experiences very quickly became springboards for my career when the Fan acquired the Raptors' rights just a few years later, and suddenly, life and the career kind of took off from there. The Raptors broadcast on the Fan, doing the play-by-play with Paul Jones, working as my broadcast partner for almost 20 years now, so we've been calling the games together on the Fan. That's the primary spot. In the last couple of years during the pandemic, we started a new show, Smith & Jones, and then, various reports, stories, interviews, or guest work as an analyst, or feature interviews and whatnot on Sportsnet. So it's almost entirely on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 590 The Fan now. Working on the Canada basketball games has been an amazing experience, because it is sort of a culmination of watching the sport grow and the passion for the sport grow from such a young age for me as a kid, let alone professionally speaking, to see where basketball has come. To see where the Raptors quickly got to with the rise of Vince Carter, then to see the fall, and there was a fall where the team struggled for a good long while, to then see the rise again and the comeback, ultimately culminating in the championship. And to see that coincide with the rise of Canada basketball as well, and the passion in this country, and then see 3 million people at the parade, to see this sport rise the way it has since I started, and to know that I might play some tiny, tiny, microscopic little piece in helping grow the game, or at least the interest in the game as a broadcaster, as a fan of the game, to now be working NBA games and national team games. It's a badge of pride that I wear. My favorite career moment, there's zero chance that I could get away with not saying the championship. Having a chance to do the play-by-play for Game 6 in Oakland, and knowing that, my final call will go down in the history books.
The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions. A city, a province, a country celebrates. The NBA championship is due north.
But then maybe 60 odd minutes after that, I was in a locker room holding the trophy myself. More rewarding than anything is every day is different, because you have no clue what's coming at you. Because it's the ultimate reality TV. Whatever sport it may be, there's no script, and the outcome or the results or the process is different every single time. You truly do have to approach a lot of the broadcasts that somebody might be listening for the first time. So you can't afford to have that day off or that off day. So that just keeps it fresh and exciting, and has been for 25 years now, and hopefully 25 more. I'm Eric Smith, and I'm a proud Humber grad.